happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. Now you guys can probably already tell it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely going to want to see this one, as we got that Fox News The 5 host Jessica Tarlov looking like a deer caught in the headlights after Greg Gutfeld finally put his foot down, drawing that line in the sand in this newest update, guys. I'm excited to get into it, so now I'm straight into it. Just make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before we even get into it, you guys, hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button for your boy. Almost that 100K mark. And without further ado, let's get straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
Well, against my better judgment, I'll go to you, Jessica, since you're the Democrat. We'll just get you out of the way quickly. This is your party.
Here we go.
How do you think the fight for leadership is going?
There was more to the forum, obviously, than that question.
No, that was
I think that yes, it was one question, and then everyone went home. I think that you could obviously make a case. There are some voters out there who don't want to vote for a woman. There are some voters out there who don't want to vote for a person of color. But generally speaking, that wasn't the cause of our loss, for sure. If Biden had been the candidate, I'm pretty sure Trump would have won over 400 electoral votes. So we're putting that to the side. What I found most interesting, and this is in line with Bernie Sanders' orthodoxy, is one of his senior advisors, Faz Shakir, was up there, and he was not playing around with the identity politics at all. He is the only one who wouldn't commit to increasing the at-large DNC seats for trans people or creating a Muslim caucus. He said, "I'm frustrated by the way in which we utilize identity to break ourselves apart." Now, I think that is the right message for the moment, though Bernie Sanders always had trouble building a coalition beyond white voters. Like, black voters in particular were never into him in 2016 or 2020. But I do think that injecting that kind of thinking into whatever the next stage of the DNC is, whether it's Martin O'Malley or Ben Wickler when they elect someone else, is going to be really important. And I hope that consultants who work with progressive candidates that have a populist working class message like Bernie are taken seriously.
Janine?
Oh my goodness. Jessica Tarlov, she'll sit up there and filibuster all day. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, Jessica Tarlov should run. Not for any political office in particular, but she should just run and keep on going, never come back. I'm tired of hearing her wasting my time with a bunch of nothing and excuses for her party. She was just running with the whole identity politics thing before Kamala Harris lost in landslide fashion. Give it up.
Well, I have to respond to something that Jamie Harrison just said when he talked about Kamala in that sound. He said Kamala could have used more time, but suggesting that if she had more time, she might have won. She had 4 years, Jamie, in the White House, 4 years to make herself a star. So, look, I'm tired of all of the arguments that they're using. They have to rationalize in their own minds why they lost, and they come up with these universal excuses without identifying what it is that the American people want. We want a good economy. We want the border closed. We want crime to be, criminals to be locked up after they're arrested if they can't make bail or if they're from another country. They lied to us about a radical agenda and and they're lazy and inarticulate. OK, that's who Kamala was anyway. So stop with the generalizations. There's a million reasons why. And they're so smart, they should analyze them.
Come on now. Judge Janine is not going to cut any corners when it comes to telling the truth. She's putting it out there. Kamala Harris had more than enough time to, become this rising star as far as the DNC's front-running candidate. I mean, she was there for 4 years as a VP, did actually nothing. We seen her just sleeping on the job as borders are. She let how many folks into this country? I mean, millions flooded our southern borders, and now they're saying that if she had a little bit more time, that she could have brought this whole thing home. I don't believe that. Heck, J.D. Vance had way less time than her to gain appeal with across our nation, but what happened with him? He rose to fame so quick, a lot of folks were skeptical at first, but then grew to love JD Vance just off his presence, the interviews, the sit down, his positions that he was taking on. If Kamala Harris had even more time or a longer runway, guys, she would have brought down the entire House. Let's be real.
Katie, we sometimes joke about, I have advice for the Democratic Party. No, don't tell them advice. Do you think that the country and the party system is healthier when you have two competent parties, or do you enjoy the Democrats suffering for long periods of time?
I think it's fun to watch them, having to wait around and the problems that they created for themselves. This forum, if Democrats want to find a future for themselves, they cannot do it in a place like Washington, D.C. with MSNBC and with Jonathan Capehart, who, after everyone raised their hand, said, you answered the right way. He's at the Washington Post. They have to get out of this D.C. bubble with the media there, which is the most far-left radical faction that we have in this entire country. They are concentrated there. But the bigger problem for Democrats is that for the past decade, really it started under Obama, they've only built their entire strategy on divisiveness, on saying if you want criminals off of the street, you're a racist who wants to put minorities in jail. If you want closed borders, you're a racist who doesn't want people to come in. You're xenophobic. So they're going to have to come up with a whole entirely different argument structure because they've completely relied on identity politics to try and win. It failed in 2016 with Hillary Clinton. It failed again with Kamala Harris. And while they're preaching all of this to the country, they're the ones who put Joe Biden in the White House, the white guy. So they've got to get out to the steel mills, to the places that they've lost with the minorities, with the union voters. They can't be doing these seminars in the heart of D.C. and expecting to get some kind of different result.
Greg, what if the Democrats just learned how to say no? No, you can't come to the country. No, you can't play women's sports. That would be a nice start.
No, I want them to keep going.
Yeah.
By the way, let's not forget, they do control the cities. So we're great nationally, but we got to remember the fact that our cities are still run by libs. But got to remind the Dems that they didn't lose to a garden variety Republican like a Jeb Bush or a Mitt Romney. They lost to what they deemed was the worst ever human being in recent history. So think about that. With your messaging and your personnel, you lost the popular vote, the electoral vote, you had the House, the Senate, to Adolf Hitler squared. What does that say about you and your strategy and your values and your messaging if you're less popular than Genghis Khan with syphilis? The fact is, you're still doubling down. We watched that, embracing what the world repudiated. And you're right. Inevitably, identity politics results in cannibalism. You run out of external targets. You chase out people in the party who wise up, and so you have to turn on each other because ultimately everybody becomes a party of one when it comes to wokeism. So, in a weird way, I think what you're seeing, I don't know if they'll wake up to it, but they're like the classroom bully who wonders why no one came to his birthday party when they said that they would. Now the bully is sitting by himself with an untouched ice cream cake. Because the bully created the largest preference falsification in political history. No one wanted to tell them that they suck. So they thought they were ascendant. They thought they were loved. They thought they were admired. And people just nodded along because they didn't want to talk to you. Everybody around you lied to you.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Greg Gutfeld coming out, hitting that nail right on top of the head. Really love how he drives the point home, and he's exactly correct in saying these folks brought this onto themselves. The shame that they brought for their party, the current state was all brought about by the last 4 years. The woke narratives they've been pushing, the identity politics, the nation spoke out and we did not agree. But this is not a bad thing at all. This is actually really good for us in our party. If you think about it, these loonies on the left are showing us once again that they simply do not get it and they will not learn from their past mistakes, making it even easier for JD Vance come 2028. Essentially a cakewalk if you ask me. But guys, definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Also want to take this time to give a huge shout out. Thanks to all the folks who made it this far in the video, guys. It goes a long way. You don't even know, and getting the message, the truth out there, the more and more individuals each and every day, guys. So just want to give a shout out, highlight all those folks, the wonderful folks who support day in and day out, guys. Definitely make sure you let me know your thoughts. Also make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd enjoy more content like this, Catch you guys on the next one.